Good morning, good morning, good morning, you lovely lot. It is Saturday the 28th of March. What wonderful delights will the 28th bring us? I'll be honest with you, I am trying not to focus on the scary things like all the morgues that are being put up, that are ready to house thousands of bodies. That's something that is not sitting well in my brain, and for the most part of this I have been pretty chilled, but I just keep seeing more being built. I am seeing more hospitals though. We've got the Excel centres being turned into hospital, so all these Nightingale hospitals that are being built across the UK literally within a matter of days. Impressive work, people, impressive work. So hats off to all those construction workers and everybody involved in turning a building into a hospital very, very quickly. And kitting it out with everything it needs, and obviously the staffing and everything else. So well done, well done. Let's hope they get more use than all the morgues that are being built. But I know they have to be prepared. It's just not sitting very well over the last 24 hours or so. That kind of reality is not sitting comfortably. Oh, excuse me. Lee has had to go to the bank, but he's just doing the outside of the bank, not going in, because he has to transfer money from one account to another. And despite me telling him over and over again to please set up online banking, he's quite old-fashioned in that way, and he won't do it. If he'd done it, he wouldn't be having to go into town right now to do it. So he has promised me he's literally going up to the cash point. He's gone relatively early. I mean, the place should be dead anyway. And he's using the cash point on the outside. So I've given him the little jar of hand sanitizer, alcohol stuff, so that he can do his hands as soon as he's finished using the outdoorsy thing. Oh, excuse me. We have this one little pot, which actually we didn't have before, but Thomas's mum told me to take out of Thomas's bag because they've got others, and to keep it. The last time I had Thomas, a couple of weeks ago. So I'm very grateful. Thank you. I'm very grateful for that, because it means he can do his hands before getting back in the car and what have you. So I feel a bit safer about him going. Right. Well, that was a bit doom and gloom. Sorry, people. That's just how I've woken up this morning, a little bit in that doom and gloom space. But I need to shake it off. Shake, shake, shake. Shake it up. Shake it up. Right. Tea. Tea will help. I haven't had tea. That's probably the problem. I need a cup of tea to get the good feelings and the good vibes going. Right. I've had some reports of other Tupperware out there in the world that is in people's cupboards and wardrobes, well, not wardrobes, but drawers, and they are lonesome too. They have no matching component. So a few of the spares that are floating around currently, I thought we'd do a little speed dating. So this is our first candidate is this lovely pot here. You know, he enjoys chilling out in the fridge with a nice portion of food. He's a balanced, well worked out 12 centimetre square pot. I mean, he's rocking the whole square thing. Square used to be quite an insult when I was at school. Oh, you're square. But you know what? He pulls this off with style. So if anybody has the perfect date for this square pot, I'm telling you now, this pot is worth connecting with. So our second candidate on the Tupperware dating. He comes from Asia originally. He is, I believe, he was Chinese, I believe. Very much enjoys noodles by the beach. He has his weaknesses. He's slightly flexible and flimsy in areas, but I think, you know, he's just in touch with his more flexibleness than you know, some of these more rigid thinking pots. So yeah, he's looking for a perfect match for his life there, to complete him. I mean, he's not insisting on it being another Asian component. Absolutely not. He's open to any nationality. But he just wants somebody who's a good fit for him. And we have a lid, this lid, small, but good things come in small packages. And he's just looking for the perfect mate. Oh, he could do with having a bath. He should have, you know, made a bit more of an effort before coming on this dating stream. But yeah, he's just looking for a perfect match, someone he can hang around with. Yeah, you know, just whether it be in the fridge, whether it be in a cupboard, whether it be taking somebody's lunch out. He just wants to spend time with someone else. So if you have the perfect pot component to match him, then he would be a very happy lid. Thank you. It's a more blowy, overcast day today, unfortunately. So we'll see what the weather does. I would still like to take the boys for a walk at some point because I think it's important for our well-being and our health. And obviously our physical well-being as well as our mental well-being to get outside and get those endorphins going. A walk a day keeps the doctor away or insanity away. And you never know at what point they're going to turn around and say, actually, a daily walk outside is not allowed, like in Italy. So we should really be making the most of it while we can. Although I know if it chucks it down with rain and there are some clouds up there, my boys will not be keen on the idea of a walk. But we'll save that till later on in the day because it's a good way of breaking up our day, to be honest. It's a very good way of breaking up the day. Kenzie's watching some films. Brendan's still asleep. It's 12:30. No, 10 nearly. So I do need to go and tell him to get his butt out of bed because otherwise he runs the risk of then not being able to sleep later because he's got up too late. Lee did try to go to the bank to do his money, but he couldn't do it from outside on the cash point and the bank was shut. So he's going to have to probably do that one day after work. I don't know, he might have to leave work early or something to go and do that. I'm not quite sure. Do it in his lunch hour. Yeah, it's certainly looking a little bit cloudy now. But we've had sun for the entire week, so I cannot grumble. It's been beautiful. Right, so let's see what else the day brings, shall we? We have workmen doing something from the electricity board outside the house. Only one of them is wearing a mask and they are not 2 metres apart.
Like those cyclists earlier on, they were 2 metres apart.
It's a bit worrying, people. If you have to work, stay away from each other. This one guy seems a little bit more cautious, the one with the mask on. We found our big geocaching box, but it was empty, so I've put it through the dishwasher to clean it and then restocked it and given it a new geocaching book in there. We're going to re-hide it when we go for our walk. It's a huge cache. Righty-ho, I have got burrito, veggie burrito, bit of Nando's mayo, bit of cheese and some leftover tuna for my lunch. Geocache has been restored to its hiding place.
You're going now?
Yes. Super windy today, but I'm determined for some fresh air. It's good for us. And we're doing it well away from any people in the middle of a field. Water.
And if you get PlayStation, if you get
Hello?
PlayStation Plus, I'll be able to use it Plus. No, if you have to do, which you won't, but that's all trash.
Our other geocache is fine in its spot. Since we were passing, we thought we'd check. Well, that was a very windy, blowy walk. A very windy, blowy walk. It's a lot colder out there than I was expecting. I did have a jacket on, but my ears, the wind was blowing in my ears and now I've got earache. But it was fresh air and it was about a 20-minute walk. It didn't take us that long. It was just under 3k, so not a very big walk at all. But it was away from everybody else because it was across fields. The village is dead. We did pass somebody else going out on a walk, but again stayed, like we walked onto the grass and they were walking on the path, so we moved well away from them. But it's eerily quiet out there. We crossed the road going out of the village and didn't have to even stop. We literally just walked straight across it. And it's not a hugely busy road, but you usually have to wait for some traffic to pass. So it's very strange out there. Yeah. I always said the zombie apocalypse would happen. Always planned for the zombie apocalypse like it would happen, and that's how it feels at the moment. A little bit zombie apocalypse-y. Without the zombies. Yet. So, yes, I'm just looking out into the garden. It's very windy, look. So I'm going to have a macaroon, because a macaroon is in my little rations thing. The boys and Leah having 2 biscuits each, so that the biscuits last as a little treat with a cup of tea in the afternoon. And yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the rest of the afternoon. Lee's very much into watching TV and gaming and all that kind of stuff, so that will probably be on. Kenzie's just gone back to his VR. He's doing Doctor Who VR, and Brendan was Minecrafting, I think, up in his room before we left, so they'll probably all go back to their gaming. I'm just milling about. It's nearly 4 o'clock, and I'm going to run myself a nice bubble bath. I'm also going to just give this a bit of a clean, because I haven't done it in probably 4 or 5 days, which is very unlike me. While the bath runs, I'll just clean this area with some bleach and what have you. Right, we have moved into apocalypse rations. There's very little fresh of anything left. So we've got some Swedish meatballs. Kenzie's having most of the meatballs because he didn't want pie. He's not a big lover of pie. He's already eaten most of his dinner.
He couldn't have got pie anyway.
We've had half a bag of chips between the 4 of us, so it's a bit less than we would have normally had. We've got tinned veg, which is not the best, but it's better than nothing, and it pads the meal out. Fray Bentos pie really only goes between 2. We've worked out, so I've just had the slitherings, and then we've each had a meatball each, and then we've got some bread, which they've eaten, and some crackers and cheese, just to fill ourselves up a bit.
Wensleydale Gromit.
Wensleydale Gromit. Well, that was very nice apocalyptic dinner, wasn't it? Pre-apocalyptic.
Apocalyptic. Yep, zombies past the window.
What was it?
Pre-apocalyptic.
Apocalyptic.
What is it with you and your
I
words?
can't say
You
words.
can't even say that famous diver, that archaeologist near the Miranda
Miranda
Kristofnikov.
Miranda
Kristofnikov.
Kristofnikov. That's the one. Or post-apocalyptic meal. There you go.
Post-apocalyptic meal.
Yeah,
with Miranda Kristofnikov.
It's a
Pre-apocalyptic meal with Miranda Kristofnikov.
Or is it not pre? Is it current apocalyptic? Because we're currently in the apocalyptic. Anyway,
Apocalyptic.
enough of our waffle. The meal we had was actually quite nice, wasn't it? Bearing in mind it was tinned vegetables, and the Fray Bentos pie did not go as far as I thought it would, and we had half a bag of chips to share so that we don't eat them all up in one meal. With some cheese and crackers on top, and some bread and butter, wasn't it? So
Bread and butter.
yeah, I didn't have any bread, but I did have some of the crackers. But like I've said, I'm just gonna have to put up with. You'll see me slowly start to swell. It starts here, around here, my jowls, and then I start to get aches and pains, and then my belly will start to bloat. But this is not going to last forever, and I just have to eat what is available, regardless of the effects it has on my body, because I can't be fussy. Anyway, enough of that whinging and whining. Anywho, yes, that is it for today. That is it. On the 29th, what is the date?
Anno Domini.
Come on, man, tell me. 28th.
28th.
Saturday the 28th of March. We did have a slightly worrying, I didn't watch the news, but my mum messaged, and slightly worrying, going back to my point this morning, the biggest thing that came out of the news thing today was that apparently we will be lucky if we get away with less than 20,000 deaths in the UK as a result of this whole situation.
That's why idiots need to stay indoors.
Yeah, I mean, you know, go for a walk in fields away from everybody. You're still isolating, but don't go wandering to the shops unless you absolutely need something. We have enough food. Despite the fact I am missing having fresh stuff, we've got enough food for the foreseeable. And we're not going to go and do any more shopping. Like we haven't done any this week, have we? Heather bought us some bread and some toilet rolls because she was going. And I have been to the garage to drop Spog off, and I did pick up a couple of bits from inside the garage while I was there, but I was the only person apart from the shopkeeper in the garage. But other than that, we have not
been food shopping. And we won't be going food shopping, despite the fact the fridge is empty. We will not be going food shopping until Saturday, when we will then get some fresh stuff and stock up on things like the cheese and the crackers and the
And more
bread.
tins of food, because that's all that'll be left after people have rinsed the shelves.
Well, literally, we've got loads of tins. We've got pasta, we've got tins. So tomorrow, Lee's found the pizzas that I bought for the kids when I was looking after the kids. So he's going to have a pizza. And I'm doing pasta and meatballs for the boys tomorrow, because we've got some pasta and I'm defrosting some meatballs.
And I can't eat the pasta because
And
it'll make me bad.
no, the pasta will make Lee stink, quite frankly. It's going to make me stink, but your own farts don't bother you quite as much as someone else's, do they? He will suffer, I will not. Anyway, we're really dropping this to the sewer level. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, you lovely lot. Please stay safe out there. Keep isolated. And if you go out for your daily constitutional, then please make sure you stay well away from everybody else. The quicker we all do this, the quicker this will hopefully pass. Stay safe.